Once upon a time in the kingdom, there ruled a kind hearted king. His people loved him because he always cared for them. However, his son, Prince Veer, was spoiled and did not care about the happiness or trouble of his villagers. One day, while riding his horse with his guards, Prince Veer saw a small hut by the roadside. Without thinking, he turned his horse toward it and knocked it down. Wow, my horse is amazing, that was fun, he laughed. The next day, in the palace, the poor farmer came to meet the king. Your Majesty, please help me. I have lost everything. What happened? Tell me everything, said the king. Your Majesty, yesterday the prince was riding his horse and destroyed my hut. Now my family and I have now here to stay. It is winter, and my children will not survive in the cold. Please help us. The king turned to his minister. Call the prince at once. Prince Veer arrived. Yes, father. Did you call me? Veer, I have heard that you destroyed this poor man's hut. Is this true? The prince said, Father, it was just a small accident. That hut was weak anyway. Besides, I was just testing my horse's strength. The king looked at his son sternly. Son, for you, it may be small thing, but for him, it is life and death. Do you know how hard it is to live in winter without shelter? Father, why are you scolding me for such a small mistake? I am the prince. I can do as I please. Veer, you must learn that a true king cares for his people. You will never understand unless you experience their hardships. Since you have no sympathy for the poor, you are not worthy of being a king. You must leave the palace and live among the poor until you understand their pain. Guards, take him out of the palace. The prince was thrown out. He wandered all day, but when night fell, he felt the bitter cold. Shivering, the prince walked alone on the road. Soon, he met a poor farmer and his wife. They said, Prince, what are you doing out in the cold? My father has banished me from the palace, said the prince. Come to my hut. The king rebuilt it after you destroyed it. The farmer said. The prince entered the small hut, where Ravi's wife and son welcomed him warmly. Prince, come inside. The prince looked around. How do you live in such a small place? The prince lay down but felt too cold to sleep. He pulled blanket from Ravi's family and said, I need these more than you. The next morning, Ravi's sons had a high fever. Ravi and his wife cried. Call a doctor, said the prince. We have no money, pay for one, Ravi said. Seeing Ravi's son suffering, the prince felt guilt for the first time. He removed his necklace and handed it to Ravi. Sell this and call a doctor. Also, buy some blankets for your family. Ravi sold the necklace and got his son treated. The next day, King visited his son. Do you understand now, Veer? Yes, father, I understand, but I am happy here. Stay as long as you wish, said the king. After a few days, a terrible storm came, destroying the hut. The family and the prince shivered in the open air. Oh God, what will we do now? Ravi's wife cried. We realized when I broke their huts, this is how they suffered. Oh, what have I done? The next morning, he gave Ravi his pearl necklace and said, Sell this and rebuild the hut. Ravi thanked him and rebuilt the hut. But soon their food ran out. Ravi, I have only this ring left. Sell it and buy food. Prince, you have given so much already, said the farmer. Do not hesitate, go now. Ravi bought food, but after a few weeks they had nothing left again. The prince said to Ravi, is there any work available? No, but we can try in the city, said the farmer. Next day, went to the city and found hard labor jobs. For the first time, the prince worked with his hands. That night, due to exhaustion and cold, Veer fell sick and he said, Ravi, I now understand your pain. Forgive me for all the suffering I caused. The prince lost consciousness when he woke up. He was in his palace bed. How did I get here? He said to the king, Son, I was watching over you. When you become ill, I ordered you to brought back. Prince Veer said, Father, I must return to Ravi's family. No, Veer, now you understand the struggle of the poor. It is time for you to become a just ruler, said the king. Veer realized his mistake. Yes, father, a true king understands his people's suffering and helps them. I promise that before winter ends, I will provide warm clothes, blankets, and better homes for the poor. True to his word, the prince helped his people. He provided warm clothes, built homes, and created jobs. The people of kingdom delighted, for they now had a prince who truly cared for them.